Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing a review of the RunCam Micro Sparrow 2 Pro. So if you take a look and open up the box, obviously you just get your cables and mounting screws as always, and you do get your little board adapter to change the settings. And then if we take out the camera here, you can get a look at that in a nice purple casing. Take the lens cap off there. So this is the RunCam Micro Sparrow 2 Pro. Now obviously you probably can tell it is a micro camera, but it is the new sort of large version. If you compare it to the Micro Swift V2, so this new larger version uses a full-size M12 threaded lens. The thinking behind that is a larger lens using a larger sensor to let more light in to give you a better picture. That's the idea behind that. If we take a look on the back, you can see we do still have the ground and menu to obviously use this little cable here, and I actually do like that instead of the TX and RX on the Micro Swift V3, because I'm not a huge fan of camera control, since all I really need to access the settings for is to turn off the voltage and pilot name, since I have Betaflight OSD, so I'm not really interested in camera control through the sticks and using a UART on the flight controller. So basically, other than the new metal larger shell and the new lens here, I'm pretty sure this is the same exact camera as the Micro Sparrow 2, except it might have some newer settings on it. So the Micro Sparrow is actually in a quad right now, so I'm going to just weigh the original Micro Swift, so it's 5.8 grams. It was about the same, and then the new Micro Sparrow 2 Pro is 10 grams, so it's about 5 grams heavier. So let me swap this out into a quad, get some flight footage, and we'll see how it performs. Okay, so here you have the RunCam Sparrow 2 Pro, and right off when I took off here, I was just like, wow, look at the colors, and it's not going to show up as well in DVR as it does in the goggles, but just the clarity and pretty much everything about this image, as soon as I took off, it really impressed me. And now I did test the RunCam Micro Sparrow 2, which is the full micro with the smaller lens, and that had a very similar image, but I did feel like this one had more clarity to it. And right here I'm just sort of peeking up and down at the sun to see if it flashes or not. It transitions really nicely there, because I had some problems with the original Eagle, which is why I tested that there, but just fine. And I also tested the RunCam Micro Sparrow 3 with the larger lens. And that's a CCD camera, so it's a lower TBL and lower resolution, and I didn't feel like that made as much of a difference, but on this camera, I could definitely tell the clarity difference. It was just a really nice clear picture. And I'm just sort of going through the trees there to see how it handles the shadows and the little branches, and it did really well. So yeah, pretty much I'm very impressed with this image, so I'll just let the rest of this flight play out. Alright, so here we are back indoors to finish up my thoughts on the RunCam Micro Sparrow 2 Pro. So just right off the bat, obviously if you couldn't tell from watching that DVR and my little commentary, I'm definitely very impressed with the colors and image on this camera. It's pretty much the same as the Micro Sparrow 2 Pro that I reviewed earlier, the fully micro version. However, with the bigger lens, I definitely did feel like I could notice a difference. And when I tested the RunCam, the Micro Swift 2 versus the version with the larger lens, I didn't notice that much of a difference. However, these are 600 TVL CCD cameras, so they're lower resolution, they're CCD. These being higher TVL and CMOS cameras, I feel like that allowed the image to be clearer with the larger lens and sensor. Now the main camera that I'm comparing it to is the one I race right now. It's the Foxeer Micro Predator right here, and I definitely did like how the colors on this were a lot more natural and a lot more warm. The Predator sort of has like a blue tint to it. It's not as bad, especially with the new V2. They tweaked the settings, but I definitely still think the RunCam was warmer, so depending on which image you like, that might be for you. But in terms of shadow detail, the RunCam did very well, although I think the Predator had a little bit... I don't know, it just seems like it sees a little bit better in the shadows, whereas the RunCam gives you a nicer image to look at with a little bit of higher contrast. And that also comes up to the point of it being the larger size. It doesn't really fit. You can see, hopefully, in the Ghost here, it's kind of a tight fit, and I can get more angle on it. Yeah, I can get up to like 80 degrees tilt, so that's not a problem there, but the lens sticks out quite a bit versus a micro. It's going to be nicely tucked in there. So for straight up racing, I don't think this larger style of camera is worth it. But for something like a wing or plane build, I think something like this, especially since you'd be able to take use of the higher resolution, nicer picture, flying sort of slow, in a wing build, I think that would be absolutely fantastic camera with this. And I might actually switch this into one of my wings because it just looks so nice. But for dedicated racing, I would still stick with fully micro cameras, and you pick whichever one you want. So that's going to bring us to the end of the review here for the RunCam Micro Sparrow 2 Pro. There will be links down in the description if you're interested. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.